Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. Oh, don't worry, our launch pad just spontaneously exploded again, but I'm sure the spacecraft is fine. We're out on the launch pad today, as it burns all around us, with another Sheruiken flight. We have a resupply and a crew rotation due for our Earth Orbital Station. Our relative inclination is down to about 0.05 degrees, so we're going to set our SAS on, toggle our throttle to full, and go ahead and get this show underway now that the launch pad has stopped spontaneously burning. So there's our ignition sequence start. Yeah, we're good. Let's get these clamps off and get skyward. Yeah, so far so good. Valentina is at the stick today, and she has with her scientist Bob Kerman. And why does that say Lee Bowman? That should be John Oliver. Uh-oh. I think we may have taken two pilots when we needed to take two scientists. I swear I assigned John Oliver to that seat. Well, that's very interesting. I guess we'll figure that out once we're in orbit. Maybe one of our on-crew or on-station scientists will be getting another run. Although I think we'll probably end up bringing Catherine home. She's had quite an ordeal after her almost being stranded in space when her EVA pack ran out. But she's probably pretty mad at me. But anyway, I'm sure she'll be extra happy to be getting this free ride home, which hopefully will also complete the first space station contract. Although we'll see how that fares once we're up there. Anyway, I need to deal with this relative inclination and pilot this thing to orbit, which we all know is never very fun. That's the wrong way. So I'm going to get working on that, and I will catch the rest of you in orbit. And thankfully, this flight was a lot less exciting than the previous Sheruiken flight, which, if I remember correctly, was the first time we got one of these Mark IVs back in one piece, was when it was already coming in broken. So maybe this is a bad omen for the future, but I think I'm finally nailing down, I mean, not necessarily how to keep this thing under control, although it certainly is flyable, but a more efficient ascent path. This is the heaviest cargo that we've brought to orbit using it. There's a booster set. They're away and clean, thank goodness. Yeah, ascent path. Anyway, I think I figured out something a little bit more efficient as far as how to get this to a 400-kilometer orbit, because this is, by far, I should say, the heaviest cargo that we've brought up with it yet, coming in at something like 19 tons or so, which I guess my current speculation for maximum tonnage to this space station orbit was about 25 tons, and I really think I might be way off on that considering how much fuel we had left over, or I just absolutely nailed this ascent, which it didn't particularly feel that way going up, but I did notice that I was pointing not at the prograde vector a whole lot less than I guess is normal. I certainly didn't have to deflect up a whole lot like I typically do with rocket launches anyway, although there was of course the nose down towards the end of the burn to try to circularize a little bit more effectively, but there was still a whole lot of fuel left in that EFT, so I may have grossly underestimated the capacity of this thing to orbit. It may require another just knockdown drag out weight test, throw 35 or 40 tons worth of lead in the trunk and see how well it performs. Although doing that might encourage me also to try to fix this balance issue that makes it just so difficult to deal with sometimes. Yeah, and here's the great nose down for circularization as we are coming up on orbit and main engine cutoff. So I will turn you back over to old me for some actual relevant commentary. Again, they're shut down at 544 by 217. Not too terrible, I suppose. But we'll let some of this spin solve itself, I guess. Maybe, probably not. We're gonna, well, we could just do this. Now I have to take my cursor out of a MechJeb window. There we go. Use that Cheaty McCheaterson way of doing it. We've got tons of fuel left in this thing. Yeah, like 3.3 kilometers per second. And I thought we were nearing capacity with this launch, but let's go ahead and separate the EFT. Oh, wrong way. Let's yeah, let's do this and pull ourselves cleanly away. Fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our cargo bay. Yeah, I have rebalanced this tank by taking a bunch of stuff out of it for the use of the fuel cells. But here's our cargo today. We have this module up here, which is basically just a stack of science experiments that the orbital station can do, and this big pile of food, fuel, water, oxygen, stuff like that. Some supplies to keep them running for a while at least. Okay, good. I did lock that, and all that fuel is locked too. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get our external panels deployed. I would like to not use the fuel cell just yet, but let's go take a look at our map here. And let's turn off satellites so there's just us in the station. I don't have to be distracted by all these other things. And I don't really think I need to correct for our inclination either. We're pretty close. 0.02 degrees. So I guess really we're just gonna kind of wait around. That's our descending node. That is our apoapsis. That would be our periapsis. So maybe we should burn at periapsis and lower our apoapsis to the orbit of the station. That kind of gives us a better shot at a better rendezvous. So, well, let's see what MechJeb has to say before... No, I don't care what MechJeb has to say on second thought. Yeah, 36 meters per second in 1 hour. I think we can handle all of that nonsense. So we will go ahead and shut down our HG3s and lock their gimbals so they're not all wiggling around. And activate our AJ10. There we go. And let's go get a little bit closer to this node. Okay, we're about 4 minutes out. So we should probably just go ahead and get angled in. There's our EFT. How cute. Okay, camera angle making me, throwing me off just a little bit there. Basically our goal is just basically to bring our apoapsis down to around 400 kilometers where the orbit of the station is. Yeah, the station is a 407 by 418 orbit. I guess we'll shoot for the 418 high end on that mark. I don't necessarily believe that we have to be very specific with this, but let's go ahead and light it up. Burn shouldn't take that long. Yeah, it's registering in about 19 more seconds. Not a problem. Alright, 415 by 216. That should be good enough for right now. Let's take a look at the map. Alright, now let's see what MechJeb has to say. That's a 28.7 meter per second burn in 2 days. Will give us a separation of 22.4 kilometers. MechJeb, you seriously, you can do better than that. So let's see if we can't just tune this a bit. I'll leave that open. Come on. Okay, there's a 1 kilometer separation. Burn is 30.3 meters per second in 2 days and 4 hours. I'll take that. Any day of the week I will take that. So let's just a quick check on our fuel stock here. Okay, that tank is completely empty. Those tanks are completely full. That tank should be locked. That's interesting. That's not a fuel tank. There's a tank. That's what I wanted to transfer around. Out. We're barely going to make a dent in it, but yeah. Every little bit I can bring down, I guess, more in line with the center line helps us out a little bit, because it's less RCS fuel we have to spend keeping our burn along the node. Alright, and panels are angled into the dish. How's our power consumption looking? We are topped off and fully charged. That is awesome. So now we've just got 2 whole days to kill. I guess we'll do it out here at the map view, where it'll hurt a little less to watch all the spinning and stuff. Alright, we are 1 minute and 51 seconds out from our burn. Let's get our RCS system turned back on. Good, I'm glad those thrusters are firing also. Everybody knows that in the bay, thrusters are the most effective at everything. Alright. Angled in, burn will only take about 20 seconds. Oh, that's just cool. Alright, sorry. Why are you being so wiggly today, Sheruiken? Okay. Minute 15, so yeah, let's just up the time warp ante. Get ourselves down. We want to start at about 15 seconds. We're at 29, so we'll start the ullage. Just try to get that angle right. Ignition. Alright, come on. This is important. Let's stay on that node, shall we? I mean, you could pretend, I guess, to stay on the node. Or not. Shut down. Alright, separation is 3.5 kilometers. Yeah, let's tune this with RCS. 1.2, 900 meters. We can bring that down just a bit more. 800. 7. Alright, 500 meters is pretty good. So what's the burn going to take to match velocities at our closest approach? 43 meters per second, which is a 28-second burn in 1 hour and 16 minutes. We're almost angled into that already. So let's just go ahead and get to it. Alright, 58 seconds. RCS needs to be turned back on. Alright, we are 48 seconds from our closest approach. This must be at hitting render range, because nothing is happening. There we go. Alright, and we'll start by just leaning on the thrusters a little bit, and trying to make sure that that separation at closest approach doesn't change too much. Alright, so this burn will take 27 seconds. We are 32 seconds out from our node. I don't want to fire it too early, also don't want to fire it too late. So I'm going to split the difference and do it like a normal burn and just go half and half. There's ignition. Keep these thrusters running. Oh, you sluggish bastard. Come on. Stay on target. Shut down. Alright. Alright, just a little bit of velocity to cancel out. We'll be within 70 meters in 24 minutes. Kill that node. Where is our lovely target? There it is. Alright, well, let's try to make this docking happen as smoothly and as quickly as possible. If we could, please. Oh wow, just in trying to turn around, we've increased our distance to closest approach from like 50 meters to 400 meters. We're going to try to get this done just as fast as possible. And so, of course, we are still dealing with that super interesting bug that when you try to time warp, it moves things further away from you. If you do physics warp, as you can see right now, the station kind of jumps off to the side. Even the indicator node on the nav ball tends to move, but when you come out of time warp, it moves right back. So I was just kind of going by the, yep, there it is, moves right back, along with the indicator on the nav ball. So I was trying to do this mostly by the countdown clock on MechJeb's closest approach indicator. So I'd like to think at least that I'm getting fairly good at this instrument flying thing. So we've pulled in the solar panels, and now we're going to start our roll maneuver to put our docking port facing the docking arm on the space station. We'll turn SAS back on and try to balance it out, which of course it does not take too kindly to, and which will also require very much re-angling. But as we get closer, I start to notice that things are a little weird up here. Well, that is certainly very interesting. You'll notice that I did not move the docking arm from where it was after the little rescue operation. And it seems that Kerbal, or Infernal Robotics has done something very goofy here in its jointing of things. We need to slow down. We need to slow way the hell down. That is very interesting. All right. Let's see if we can't pull off a docking with this very odd thing. That is very weird. Actually, the kind of offsettiness on the Infernal Robotics parts was kind of helpful. I could actually kind of aim down the sights, as it were, and use that to help guide the docking, although there was quite a lot of camera changing for me trying to get the angle right to see exactly what I was doing, and I do apologize for that. I know it's a little disorienting trying to watch it in sped up time motion, but I think also the docking port is a little off angle from the rest of the arm. I could be wrong about that now that I'm rewatching it, so it was a little bit of a trouble to get lined up, but I'd say as far as dockings for me go, this one was relatively smooth and relatively painless. We did make some contact there, just have to push the nose down and then guide ourselves into it. Bingo! Hard dock. I mean, sort of. These gaps are very troubling to me. But we have dock! Yay! What the hell? Did any of these joints do it? Yeah, it's all over here on the solar panels and stuff too. Oh, that's so weird. And disconcerting. I think it might be time to get rid of this half of the space station and replace it with something a little more, yeah, I don't know, functional, not ridiculous. This docking arm too. So maybe we'll start to think about that. We're going to have to get another launch up to deal with some of that stuff. So anyway, we're going to leave the resupplying and the addition of this science module for next episode, as well as the crew transfer, the completion of the contract associated with it, and probably our deorbit. So yeah, hey, that's pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with this, actually. It worked out. Oh man, yeah, these things are all messed up too. Everything with a hinge on it is now screwed up. That's fun. Anyway, all right. That's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.